Hello and welcome to Three Things with JR. I'm your host, JR. And I am super excited about this show. I am energized by what you are about to listen to. I recorded it about an hour ago. It is my interview with a stand-up comedian named Von Mychael, and we chatted for about a half an hour about a whole bunch of cool stuff. And I'm so excited to play that for you. It's the first real kind of interview kind of thing that I've done, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed talking to Vaughn, and I'm so excited for you to hear it. I put the call out many episodes ago that I would be interested in having guests on the show, and I was hoping that some of my comedian friends might immediately call me up or Facebook message me or whatever to let me know how they would love to be on my show. It hasn't happened yet. Von Mychael is the first to do that, and I am super excited. It took us a while to get connected. I actually tried to book Von on one of my comedy shows when I used to host a show here in Charlottesville at Pro Renata Brewery a year or so, about 2 years ago now, and it didn't work out. He had car trouble or something. He couldn't get up here. He was based out of the Virginia Beach area at the time, or Newport, or somewhere in that vicinity. He has since moved to D.C., and he's based out of our nation's capital right now. And I booked him on a show. Excuse me. I booked him on a show right as the pandemic was hitting. So I was just getting a new comedy show going every other week, a new show, Wednesday nights in Charlottesville. Boom, pandemic, show's done. I have no idea what the future holds for that. But I'm doing a podcast now, so let's talk to Vaughn on the show here. What I'm gonna do is I want to tell you how you can find Vaughn. Normally this you might have to wait till the end of the episode for this, but if you want to go check out Von Mychael on the internet, he's all over the place. He's pretty much at Von Mychael anywhere you want to go on social media, and that is spelled at VonMychael, Von Mychael. That's his name. He is a pretty funny dude. He's got a lot of sketches and stuff, videos on Instagram, on YouTube. He's been doing the rounds. He's been hitting Zoom mics, open mics, paid gigs. He's open for some pretty cool people. In fact, you can see more about him on his website, vonmychael.com. So definitely check that out. I feel like we talk a little bit about instant gratification and how we want to see things go viral and all of that stuff, and how it can be demoralizing when we don't get the response to our artistic creations that we want. And we talk a little bit about that in this interview, so I figured I'd hit up on that. I'm pretty excited. We are over 200 plays on the podcast. And my estimated audience size is growing. We're in the double digits now, so it's a slow growth. I'm in this for the long haul, people. I'm going to be doing this for a while. 16 episodes in the bag. This is number 17, and I am more excited than ever to be talking to you live on my microphone in my bedroom, recording a podcast. So this is a lot of fun. I just went downstairs and recorded a whole bunch of new drum solos. So if you've really been paying attention, you may have heard I have had to recycle some of the drum solos on the show here lately, because I haven't gotten my ass down into the basement on my drums with the microphone to record any new drum solos. Not that they're amazing drum solos, but they should be fresh, right? Like, you should get a new drum solo every episode, not the same old stuff. So that's the goal, is to always have fresh drum solos, which is going to mean I'm going to have to learn some new drum techniques, because I realized today that a lot of my drumming sounds the same. So those drummers of you out there that are paying really close attention, please be patient with me. I'm working on it. And first off, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do this time, instead of throwing the old sponsor right in the middle of the three things, I'm going to throw a drum solo, an anchor ad, and a drum solo right here in the show, so that after this, when you come back, it's the entire interview of Von Mychael and me talking for about a half an hour about a whole bunch of different stuff. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Stay tuned through the ad, through the two drum solos. We'll be back right after the turn. Here's my drum solo. How you doing, man?
Good to yourself?
Fantastic.
Oh, this is perfect. I like this setup.
Yeah, sweet. I am recording, just so you know.
Okay. Say nothing crazy. I got you.
No, say crazy stuff. That's good. As long as I can put it out into the public, then we're good. Man, we've been trying to get together for one reason or another for a while now, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It was we had it planned and booked finally. I hold on, I forgot what happened the first time, but then this pandemic happened. This was
Yeah. I think
everything just shut down.
no kidding, man. Just as I was getting my second room started here in Charlottesville, that's when it
Hmm.
all hit. I had two shows and then everything hit and we were about to do our third show. I think that's the one I had you booked on, and then
Hmm.
everything had to get canceled and nothing's picked back up here in Charlottesville since.
How was that? How is Charlottesville right now during this pandemic? Because Virginia's what in phase three now, right?
Yeah, a lot of places are in phase 3. Restaurants are allowed to be open with indoor dining to at a limited capacity. I think it's like 50% or something like that. I went and ate inside at a restaurant yesterday for the first time in a long time, and it was fantastic.
Where did you go?
I went to Mission Barbecue.
Okay.
And Mission Barbecue, I figured if there's going to be any place where they'll let you sit inside right now, it's probably Mission Barbecue. They kind of, their whole motif is supporting the armed forces and the police and all of that, and so they're kind of on that side of the world right now, which seems
Okay.
to be a little bit more open to opening.
Got you, got you.
And none of the patrons in there were wearing masks. Not when they were standing in line, and not when they were, of course, when they were eating. All the
Oh,
staff
whoa.
was wearing masks though. And normally they have like a bunch of sauces out on the table, but none of that
Mm.
happening. They're just giving you like little disposable cups full of barbecue sauce and stuff now. So it's changed a little bit, but it was sure nice to go inside and eat in a restaurant in the air conditioning and do that for the first time in months.
Did you wear a mask?
I wore a mask while I was standing in line,
Okay.
while I ordered my food, while I got my drink at the fountain sodas, and all the way till I
Hmm.
got to my table.
See, I just don't understand why people don't understand the whole mask thing. Like everybody's just like anti-mask and feel like it's hurting their rights by wearing a mask.
Yeah, see, I have sort of evolved through in the last few months. I obviously, like everybody, hate wearing a mask and was very
Hmm.
resistant to it for a while. I am way less resistant to it now. I get it.
Hmm.
What really struck me as the reason to start wearing a mask was that it's not for me; it's for other people, and
Hmm.
well, that just makes sense. And I kind of felt like a dick for not wearing a mask. So,
Yeah, once I got educated, because at first I thought when somebody wore a mask, it made you look like you had the coronavirus. I was like, yo, you look sick by wearing that mask.
right.
And then I got educated on it. And literally, if two people wear a mask, like there's like less than 1% chance of you getting coronavirus.
Yep.
Um, so it's like I just understand like everybody, we want the world to reopen. We're trying to get back to normal. It's just like wear a mask. Like the
It
solution to what's going on.
No, it just totally makes sense. The wearing of the mask and the staying 6 to 10 feet apart. I think
Hmm.
those two things are probably, if we can all get on board with doing that, we'll probably slow this thing down.
Yeah, and the issue is like yesterday I was outside and a panhandler just wants to come up on me and ask me for money, bro. And like I was just so like
Mm.
I don't know. I'm at the point now. It's like when people start like, are you still going through that phase? Did you go through that phase when like people get close to you, kind of like back up or kind of like freak out?
So I personally don't freak out, but it surprises me when people do it. Like I was going into the grocery store the other day, and a grocery store worker was like sanitizing the handles on the carts.
Hmm.
And so I was standing there waiting for him to finish the person in front of me and give him a cart, and then I was going to walk in. And this lady just walks, like, brushes against me, walks past the other guy, walks past the other customer and into the store. Like, she couldn't have been more than 6 inches from any of us at any given time, which walking right through. Like,
Wow.
she did not care. She was not waiting, not wearing a mask. And I'm like, why? There's no reason for that. We're all going to be in this store in 30 seconds.
Right.
It doesn't save you that much time, and but yeah, I mean, So it didn't freak me out, like it didn't scare me like I might get it or something, but I was just
Mhm.
surprised that there's still people that just aren't on board with this at all.
Yes, it's very selfish, man. I didn't know that America was so selfish.
Yeah, yeah, we're
That's
finding out
for
a lot
real.
about America here recently, huh? Holy shit. uh yeah, man. So you have listened to my podcast, so you are in a very small group of a select group of people in the world right now who have
Hmm.
actually listened to my podcast, and I put out the call for guests. And I was really hoping some of more of my comedian friends might actually take me up on that offer.
Hmm.
But you're the first one. I've gotten family members and people I play music with, but you're the first
Hmm.
comedian that I've had on the show.
Dope, yeah, man. Cause I saw that you had like repeating guests, um,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
Yeah, that's
times,
my
and
band.
yeah, and I'm glad to be on. I was when you said yeah, I was like, dope. This is dope. And I was like, get to talk, and cause we never really talk. We only talk through like actually like messaging
Yeah, that was
and
it.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
And so I've touched on some pretty hot button issues here lately, and you said you've actually listened to this podcast. So have I said anything really stupid yet?
nah, nah. I actually, um, I, I was agreeing with a lot of stuff that you were saying
Nice.
when I was listening to it, um, and it was well thought out, and like you had a point of view. So I like that. Um, no, it was good. It was good episodes, and what I like about it is that like some of them are like kind of long, some of them are short, so it's kind of like it's not dragged out. Like if it's gonna get done, it's just done.
Right. Yeah, they're only as long as they need to be. I'll cut out all the fluff or any mess, if we have any screw ups or anything like that. But for the most part, I just want real conversations happening. And if they're short, they're short. If they're longer, they're longer. If I've got guests, usually the show's a little bit longer.
Yeah. So I mean, how are you feeling? Like, is this something? Because I know you said that you're kind of just doing it, and is this something? Do you have a vision for your podcast?
Uh, I mean, I would love to be doing a show like this. I'd say even more than comedy.
Hmm.
I've always loved talk radio and just like
Hmm.
entertainment talk radio, like Howard Stern on the extreme level, but even
Hmm.
other just sort of comedy fun shows where it's just people hanging out on the radio talking about stuff and
Hmm.
playing games or doing goofy stuff, things like that. I've
Hmm.
always loved that kind of talk radio, and
Hmm.
it should not have taken me this long and this extreme of a situation to get on board with doing a podcast, because it's been around for a while,
Hmm.
and it's pretty easy and cheap to record a podcast and put it out there. So uh, I love the idea of people listening and giving me feedback and having some interaction with the with an audience and creating a show that
Hmm.
I would like to listen to myself. I want to interact with some music a little bit and talk to people and just say whatever's on my mind. So,
Yeah.
and if
Um,
it turns out people want to listen to that, that would be amazing.
yeah. I like that because you do actually do got a radio voice. Very soothing. Sound like I could hear you on the radio.
Nice. I'll take that.
um, but definitely, I feel like it's one of the things where we just got to keep doing. I think this quarantine has like really showed us like we could be doing more. Because I know with me, like I'm always on tour and stuff like that, and like I always just focused on like doing comedy. But like now, it's starting to realize like um, time management, how much time you're wasting,
Hmm.
and you could be really doing everything that you want to do.
So, how has the quarantine changed how you spend your time?
I'm more structured now. Um, like I have a routine, um, and my day is structured out for so I wake up, I work out, then after that I do writing for a few hours, then I do my videos, and then after that usually about 5 o'clock p.m. and then around about 7ish, that's when I start doing Zoom open mics, and then after that go to bed and do it all over again. So it's like it's structured out my day because at first it was like becoming it was a little depressing because as soon as we went into quarantine, that's when I realized. that I ain't have nothing outside of stand up comedy.
Hmm.
No friends, no life, no nothing.
Yeah.
So it taught me that you have to have some type of structure and something else to keep you sane.
Yep.
Because comedy is like therapeutic. Like I don't know if you realize this, and like I was telling my mom about this. Like when comedy ended, especially like people that like do this like every night, because I do comedy about 6 nights a week, 2 3 shows.
Yeah.
Soon as it ended, it was like something was taken away from me, and it was like you almost had like a. I feel like a lot of comedians have mental breakdowns because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, what are we gonna do? Like, what's next? Like, and it's like uncertain. You broke. You don't know where your money coming from. Gigs stopping. It's just like, what is going on? So it's like you had to find something outside of comedy. So you're starting to see a lot of comedians do podcasts now, do videos,
Yep.
working out, and stuff like that, and becoming better people.
Yeah.
So what you say changed about me is the structure.
And so you're probably getting to bed at a reasonable hour. You're getting up at a reasonable hour, right? You're finding, does it change your day in that way as well?
Yeah, like I wake up 7, 8 o'clock in the morning now, and like I'm afraid. Like part of me, there's a little fear of when things do back open back up and we go to comedy because comedy is late at night, bro. Like we be out to like DC. I'm out to about 11, 12. I'm in New York. We out to about 2, 3 in the morning. So
Right.
it's like right now, it's like I got a healthy lifestyle. I'm eating good. I lost 30 pounds in this quarantine.
Oh, wow.
It's like yeah, it's like once things open back up, it's like how do I keep that same discipline but still work as hard in comedy?
Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy?
A little over 4 years now.
And how old are you?
I am 28.
So, what made you start? Like, what prompted you to get up on stage and try to make people laugh the first time?
Um, I had one of them Instagram videos, and the thing had got it had over like 3,000 views. My first Instagram video, people
Wow.
laughing, loving, sharing it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try stand up, and I tried it, and I bombed. And, but it's one of them things like stand up. Once you do it, it's addictive. It's like a drug. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta do this again. And I'm the type of person like I love a challenge. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna get good. I'm gonna get good. So I'm doing open mics every night, and then it just became. I started doing it, became part of the lifestyle.
Right. So I haven't been doing it that long. It's almost that long. It'll be 3 years in September, but nowhere
Mm-hmm.
near as often as you. I consider myself kind of lucky that I have a lot of different interests. So
Mm-hmm.
comedy, at my best, I was hitting 3 or 4 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
Open mics mostly. I started my own show at Pro Renata Brewery, and then
Right.
I think it's the first one I had you booked on, and then I think you had car trouble or something. That's why we didn't meet that time. But that gave me a lot of stage time. Other open mics, doing a couple paid gigs here and there. And it was great. But I have other stuff I'm doing too. So I play music in
Mm-hmm.
a band. I sing in a choir. I play softball. I go ride motorcycles. I mean, I do a lot of stuff, uh,
Mm-hmm.
most of which is just gone during the quarantine. And
Mm-hmm.
I never could get on board with doing a Zoom show. Like I just couldn't in my mind wrap my mind around that concept of trying to do comedy over a Zoom thing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, my day job is I train people, so I'm having Zoom meetings like all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So then to go home and do Zoom meetings to try to make people laugh just seemed like too much for me. So I've gotten more healthy as a result of this. I don't stay up as late. I'm not spending as much money driving and eating and doing all the things that sort of go along with hitting all the open mics.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's definitely simplified my life a lot and allowed me to focus. And but I had to do something, and that's when I started the podcast. And the podcast hasn't been like a comedy show the whole time. It's really just whatever I'm thinking about. I just kind of want to talk about it. So
Yeah, yeah, that's dope, man. That you feel like your life getting better. I've been on this thing, man, telling comedians like right now is the time to really be building your social media presence,
yeah,
building that foundation for it because you got the time. Everybody's online. Like build your presence. Start working on building a fan base, and once things open back up, you have a little fan base, and then you build your routine. So when things open back up, you start doing stand up again, but you have an audience.
yeah,
You can maybe book a live show. You tell the booker, hey, we could do a door deal. I can fill seats, so I want a percentage of the door.
Yeah.
Um, but dang, so you have your foot in a lot of things, and it's like everything got taken away. So
Yeah.
pretty much everything's live.
All of my activities just like in one weekend, done, gone. Can't go
Hmm.
out and do any of it. Got to figure out what else to do.
Yeah. So what? So outside of this, like, what are you doing to like as your outlet?
It really is mainly disc golf. So I go out into and play disc golf. It's like playing ball golf except with like frisbees.
Uh huh.
And so I go out to a disc golf course here in Charlottesville. There's 3 or 4 of them around the area, and I'll go play that. And it takes about an hour, hour and a half every day. I go do it right after work,
Hmm.
which gets me out in the woods. I'm hiking, I'm throwing, I'm exercising, I'm walking the dog, and I'm just having a great time doing it. I'm actually getting to the point where I'm competitive. So I've got a tournament coming up this weekend. We can finally start having disc golf tournaments again.
Hmm.
So it's been exercise, it's been sports, it's competition, it's fun, and yeah, that's been my main outlet. I do that pretty much every day. That
Okay.
that and the podcast.
Okay. So yeah. So okay.
Uh,
Yeah. I think podcasts are the wave, man.
yeah, I wish I'd have started doing it way sooner. So for sure. We also just started like our band's been getting back together to practice music again. So to be able to play some live music, even just at my friend's basement, is that's been a bit of an outlet too.
Because that was the hardest thing for me, and I swear, man, I really didn't realize that. It was like I just didn't have no out. I bought a video game. I bought
Mm.
an Xbox. I was like, I need something um, to to make it through.
Now, are you a full time comedian normally, or do you got a day job, or what?
Full time, like I tour like literally every week.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is, man. It's a blessing. And sometimes like during this quarantine, you got time to really think about it, and it's like I didn't even realize like how much I was doing because I think we got a lot of time to reflect during this quarantine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Um,
I've definitely
and
had a lot of time to think about things I don't ever think about.
hmm
And that's been the inspiration for a lot of the stuff I've talked about on the podcast. Is I don't normally spend a lot of time thinking about systematic racism and police brutality and all of that stuff. That if you're paying any attention to what's going on in the world right now, how can you not be thinking about that?
yeah, yeah, it's like with Force. That's what I'm afraid because they if you notice, as soon as like all the protests and stuff are going on, then they were like, we're bringing the NBA back, and I feel like they want to distract us. They're
Uh,
like, the people need some distraction.
Funny how that worked.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I feel like we didn't need COVID, but we needed the quarantine.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you're right. I think we're all going to come out of this better. We don't
Mm.
probably doesn't feel like it right now, but I think the end result uh, is a lot of people are going to find themselves and or reinvent themselves, that kind of thing. So I think yeah, I think there could be a lot of positives on the end here. So the show is normally structured as three things where I'll talk about something. The first thing is something deep. The second thing
Okay.
is something having to do with music. And the third thing can be something silly or stupid or gross or absurd or whatever. Uh,
Mm.
have you given that any thought? You got three things in particular you want to talk about?
Um.
I was going to say that this first bit of our conversation kind of counts as sort of deep stuff already. We've gotten into it. That could count
Yeah.
as thing one if you want to move on to something musical, or if you've got some other thought you want to bat around a little bit. I'm happy to talk about whatever, dude.
It's musical. What do you think about like the where music is at right now? Um, in general, with like everything being digital, and do you think music is in a good place, for the artist wise, um, with streaming going on now?
So, as a musician with music out there on Spotify and iTunes and all those places, I can tell you there's not much money to be made for the local musician that doesn't have millions of plays, right? If
Hmm.
you're a big act and you've got a huge following, I think there's a lot of money to be made. But you can't not be there also, right? Because if you say to
Hmm.
somebody, hey, I want you to listen to my music, and they say, well, how can I listen to it? And I'm like, here, buy this CD. They're like, I don't even have anything to play that.
Hmm.
So if you're not on those platforms, you're not going to get any attention whatsoever. Uh,
Right.
and so it's either touring or social media or both to get the word out. And, we're a bunch of three older dudes with day jobs. So touring really isn't in the cards for us now. So we just need to get out and play. And it's, unless you're already drawing a bunch of people, it's hard to get the bigger gigs where you can actually make any money. Uh,
Hmm.
and so it's really difficult to make any kind of money until you have a song that goes big or viral, or we're trying to get some videos going that we're three old busy dudes who can't find the time to get together and film a video. If we could probably help ourselves a lot, but I think that's where the people that are having success are, because they're able to pour themselves into that kind of stuff, the promoting of their band, the getting the word out there, just kind of nonstop thinking about that. And if I had nothing else to do, that's what I would do kind of full time. But
Hmm.
too many, the day job, the all the other things that I like to do. Again, under normal circumstances, right now, uh, I don't have much of an excuse for not promoting the
Right.
band and getting out there and doing more on the social media side.
So do you think it's easier or harder as a musician nowadays
Hmm.
to make it?
So so taking my band out of it, right? Because we're a little bit different. If there's a sort of a younger musician who has the time and energy to get the word out and is actually making good music, I think I think there's more opportunity than ever, because if you're really making good stuff, it can get shared and it costs you almost nothing to get your word out there, and
Hmm.
you can develop a following before you have your first live show. Like that's possible
Yeah.
now, and at a pretty low cost, all things considered, with all of the abilities people have to record on their own at a very low expense and
Hmm.
get stuff out. But it takes a lot of time and effort of actually doing that work of promoting, and of course having a good product. If you're a really good musician, the chances of you being out there, uh, if you can get your word out, I think are actually pretty good.
But that's the thing for me, man. It's like there's like this double-edged sword, right? It's easier, you got more opportunity, you got all these platforms, everybody's on social media, right? But I feel like one thing that's really hard is not um being not clout chasing, not chasing certain things. Like I think everybody now wants to go viral. Like that's the thing. So many people are creating stuff just to go viral, that viral moment,
Hmm.
and don't necessarily realize that you still got to put the work in. Like it might take 5, 10 years before you have your viral moment, but it's like a everyday consistent grind. Like you have more opportunity to do things now, build that fan base, but I feel like a lot of people give up because they don't have that instant gratification. I think instant gratification kills a lot of people nowadays. That's the thing that I'm afraid of. Like you have the opportunity, but instant gratification can really um, get people off track.
100%. So my band recorded a CD last year. We actually did make some CDs. We've got digital downloads. We're on all the streaming platforms, and we got nothing out of that. I mean, like
Mm.
almost no plays, and that was extremely demoralizing. And if we had seen even a modest, like, if we had 50 listeners a month, that would be amazing on Spotify. I get the email from Spotify every month. Here's your
Mhm.
band's month on Spotify. 3 people listen. I'm like, 3 people. What am I doing? Like, this is a waste of time. And so, yeah, without the instant feedback of positive feedback, it was definitely demoralizing. So I didn't go back out and keep pushing it, and just stick with it. Even though I believe in the band, I believe in the music, I'm pretty sure it's good, and that people that have listened to it want to hear it again. But uh, it's easy. There's definitely a lack of effort on my part, and a lot of it comes from being instantly demoralized by just nobody showing interest.
Cause that's something like I'm doing these videos, this whole quarantine 5 days a week. I'm doing sketch videos, and I had to literally. That's something I went through a phase. I was like, okay, I can't focus on the views because like the thing is, you're gonna get better with your content over time. Like it's a growing thing. I understand now. Like it might be a year before my content is as good as it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
um, for people to share it. And if I focus on these views, it's gonna make me scared. I'm not gonna want to do it no more. So I had to like I think with this younger generation, they have to figure out their purpose for creating content. And once you figure out your purpose, you just want to create content, make it better, have good quality stuff. Um, then yeah, a lot more people can push through. But yeah, that instant gratification, man, that's like the devil. That's
Yeah, it's
scares a
like
lot of people.
without the instant gratification, it's instant demoralization, or it can be
Yeah.
if you let it. And I think you just got to power through that, and don't accept the rejection.
Yeah, and it's also even when you do get the likes and views, some people fall off from that because it's like, dude, I feel like likes and views are kind of like a drug in itself. Like it's almost like people use that to validate themselves, like self-esteem, in
Yeah,
a
hundred
way. So
percent. I
it's
check my
crazy.
podcast stats a couple times a week, and I'm always like, oh, cool, I'm up to 200 plays, I'm up to this, and then just seeing those numbers grow is a motivator for me.
Do you ever like just be like listen to it? Cause like sometimes I look at my videos and like it's not getting the views and likes right now in my sketches, but I can look at them and be like, yo, this is good. Like this is good content. And cause I used to do sketches before all this happened like a couple years ago, right? And I stopped doing it because likes and views.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back and look at them now. I'm like, yo, this was good. Like I should have just stuck with this. I was like, this was good content. Like, cause I'm a big believer. It was a video. Matter of fact, you talk about race. There was this lady who talked about how she was like, be thankful that black people aren't looking for revenge. Video went viral. We're looking for equality, not revenge.
Right.
And this video went viral. But if you go back and research this lady, she had been doing this type of work, social like injustice and stuff like that, for like over 10 years, just in the grind, in a circle, and in the neighborhoods. And after 10 years, um, she had that viral moment, and it's just I don't know. I think I go back to just you just gotta know your purpose with all this, and you kind of gotta be your lifestyle for what you do. Whatever you want to decide to do is like it just got to be a lifestyle thing.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That's a great point of view. So we'll call that thing number two. We started talking about music, and it went several places, but it's good stuff, man. And you've already given me stuff to think about with my approach to my band, the podcast, comedy, a little bit of everything. Sort of, it's all in there. A little bit motivational, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. I just want to see you succeed. I see you. I saw that you were creating. I was like, man, this is dope. And I was like, man, just keep going, keep pushing.
Man,
Got something here.
dude, that's awesome. You're giving me some instant gratification right now and a reason to keep recording this show because I'm enjoying it, and just knowing that anybody's out there listening makes me that much more excited about recording every week.
Yeah, if you got one person, you winning, bro.
Yep, that's it.
You should watch Gary. You heard of Gary V?
Gary V. No.
I'm gonna send you some of his videos. He'll motivate you.
Okay, cool. So thing number three is usually something silly or stupid or some sort of. It's for me. Sometimes it's a bit I'm working on, things like that.
Mhm.
So if you've got anything that fits that bill, man, that'll be thing number three today.
I am abstinent, bro. I am abstinent for the next 2 years. Um, I'm not having sex. That's why anytime I do a show now, groupies want to have sex with me. When I bring them back to the hotel, we are meditating. Like we are not having sex. We are going to meditate. So, like what we gonna do? We gonna breathe. That's what we gonna do. Close your eyes.
We're gonna get mindful.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in life right now, bro. I'm not having sex is addictive. Sex is a drug, man. I'm addicted to sex, drugs, um, sex, drugs, and food, and I quit all three of them. So yeah, knowing your addictions. I feel like America is has you just addicted to one of those three things. And I think a lot of people don't even notice that or realize that you're addicted to something.
Yeah. Oh, it's true.
Um,
I'm addicted to soda and cigarettes and food.
Bro, it's so crazy because they like for so long, like we're starting to realize this, but they would never admit that soda was addictive, and the way they just advertise soda, like soda should be on the same level as cigarettes.
A hundred
Diabetes
percent.
is crazy.
Yep. I've kicked both cigarettes and soda for pretty long periods of my life at different times, and it was the best thing I ever did. And somehow I get back into both of them. They both just won't let me go. And I mean, when I'm doing them, I'm enjoying them, so it's hard to be let go. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, soda is definitely right up there with cigarettes. It's equally as hard for me to stop drinking soda as it is for me to quit smoking.
I had that's something I had to realize. This quarantine, talking about time to think, thinking about my addictions and stuff like that, and like becoming sober and stuff. Um, for me, this over this weekend, I had some financial stress, and like I was kind of contemplating going back to DC, right? Moving back to DC and just trying to figure out like the living situation, like money wise, and just like, dang, like you gotta get this paycheck before got a deposit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I started picking up some fruit snacks, the candies, and I was eating like fast food, and like I didn't even think about it. I was just like, why am I craving this? And it was like the stress of finances. Whenever I stress finances, I'm an emotional eater, so it's like for me, it's like starting to realize what are things that signal off for me to do the things that I like to indulge in. So like financial stress. So like now I'm focusing on just better planning, like learning how to cope, um, healthy. And so like that's my biggest thing right now, so that I don't get into those things because that's a fear, bro. I don't know. I guess also you can use your addictions to also know that there's something going on. Like when you start doing those things, you can kind of be like, okay. Like for me, like I start getting back into candy. I'm like, all right, what's wrong with me? Like I literally sit
Ah,
down and be like, what's going on?
yeah.
And
And
I kind of
recognizing it
use
as a
that.
sign or a symptom of a bigger problem.
Yeah.
That's good stuff,
Um,
man. Thing three is normally silly or absurd, and you started it off by saying you're going to be not having sex for a while. I was wondering when the punchline was going to hit, but then I think you're actually serious. Like, is that real?
yeah, it's real, like, bro, because you you don't really you gotta really get to know a person, man. Like I just don't want to be having sex with anybody anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when you start having sex with somebody, you miss their flaws. Like, they can be crazy. Like, I was having sex with this one girl for a whole year, and I didn't realize she was a crackhead, bro. Like, it should have, like, the missing teeth. Like, I didn't see none of that while we were having sex.
Oh,
I guess that's why the head was good. But it was just like,
there
but
it is.
you miss things.
Yeah, willing to overlook it a little bit.
Right. It's because it's like those. You ever notice too? Like it could be a woman hit you up, be like, "Yo, you can come through," and like I was ready to drive a whole state for this girl. She was like, "You can come over." I was like, "Yo, there's something wrong with me that I'm about to go in a pandemic to a whole other state to see this girl. Like, what is wrong? I'm addicted to sex."
Ah, so so is having sex again going to be another sign or a symptom of a bigger problem, or is that the bigger problem?
um, yeah, it was a big problem because one thing was that my biggest thing is it's something that's unhappy, something's going on. It's like I'm trying to fill a void. I'm trying to bring. A lot of times is when I'm not happy or I might be down and depressed. I want that sex to kind of give me a boost of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got to figure out like exactly what I'm unhappy about at that
Yeah.
time.
So what I want to know then is where can people find you?
Um, Anywhere, any social media platform, bro. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pornhub, anywhere you want to see me
Wait,
on.
Pornhub. Hold on. What do I need to search for?
Just put in, I'm Von Michael. Anything Von Michael spelled VonMychael. And anybody that's listening to this, any of your listeners, if they send me a direct message on any social media platforms and they listen to me on this, I'll send them a link to my comedy special for free. You get the link for free, quarantine comedy special. Just let me know that you heard me on here.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That's a deal. It's exclusive for my listeners, or are you doing that for all the different shows you're on?
Just for your listeners.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Right on, man. So are you, I know you got to go just in a couple minutes, but are you doing paid Zoom shows, or is it all just kind of free open mics? Like, how are you supporting your comedy lifestyle right now?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing paid Zoom shows. I'm getting booked for that. Got some live shows coming up. Sure, both. Money ain't the same as before, pre-pandemic, but
Yeah.
it's doing fine. A lot of bills are decreasing. Like my cell phone bill just got only $50 now. Verizon lowering bills. Like a lot of places are lowering bills, so
Yeah.
things are working out. So doing paid, but I'm also doing open mics, Zoom shows, so that I'm in a habit of still. So real quick, the first like 2 months of pandemic, I didn't do no Zoom shows. I was like, fuck this. I ain't doing no Zoom shows. And then I realized I was being a dinosaur. You can't just, if you don't go with the change, that was like people when the internet came, they was like, I'm not getting on the internet. I'm focused on TV.
Right.
It's like, you're a dinosaur. You got to adjust with the time. So I got on Zoom shows. I'm doing three open mics a night for the Zoom shows. And then when the paid things come in, I do those as well.
Well, good for you, man, to be able to keep doing that. You're inspiring me. Maybe I'll actually try one of those Zoom shows. Me expanding a little bit is doing this podcast, and so this is kind of my focus for now until comedy shows and for real start back up. But maybe I'll get on a Zoom show. I've had a couple people tell me that, so I'll definitely
hit up
think about it.
Reed Clark.
Who?
Reed Clark. He's on Facebook. He's out of DC. He runs a Zoom show every Monday at 9:00 p.m.
Reed Clark. Got it.
Yeah.
Should we put that out there on the podcast, or should I take that out?
No, you can put that out. Anybody, because he always looking for people to
All right, cool.
come on or perform, whatever.
Right on, man. So it's and it's at Von Mychael everywhere on the different social medias. Is that how to find you?
Yep, that's correct.
And that's VONMYCHAEL.
CHAE. Yeah, that's correct. I had to remember for a second.
I'm looking at it right on the messenger here, so I was pretty sure I spelled it right.
Yes, correct.
Vaughn, I know you got to go, dude. Thank you so much for taking some time out. I'm so glad we finally got to talk, and I am really excited to go back and go edit this episode and get it out tonight. So we're recording this on Monday night. It'll be dropping tomorrow. I'll tag you in it on Facebook, and if you could just tell all your friends and listeners to come listen to my show, man, then I'll get some instant gratification out of the whole thing, and this is all comes full circle.
Bro, I'm going to promote. And thank you for having me on, man. And see you once the world reopens.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Vaughn. Have a great one, dude.
You too.
Bye, man. That was a lot of fun talking to Vaughn. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed talking to him. I hope it was fun to listen to. Thank you so much for sticking with us all the way till the end of the episode. Just as a reminder, hit up VonMychael.com, at VonMychael on all the social medias. Don't forget to check him out. And thank you big time for him trying to fit me into his busy comedy schedule. I am so jealous. And if anybody else wants to be a guest on the show, if you want to come on and talk about three things, here's all you got to do. Come in ready to talk about something deep, emotional, moving, something that's got you thinking right now. Thing number 2, something with regards to music. What's inspiring you? What songs do you like? What song is hitting you in the hearts right now? That kind of stuff. And then number 3, let's get silly. Let's just talk about something obnoxious or funny or stupid or whatever. That's it, man. It's really just an excuse for us to start talking and for us to have a fun conversation that people might want to listen to. So if you want to be on the show, hit me up. Facebook, Messenger, email JRASTOFF@gmail.com is how you can get straight to me. And I look forward to hearing from all of you that want to be on this silly little show. I'm JR. This is 3 Things with JR. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day. I love you all.